What is IR about? Traditionally, IR has been the study of international relations, but actually what we meant is the interaction among states, not nations, in terms of power. Basic premises of this traditional understanding of IR are two. Premise number one, every individual on the earth is a member of a state. Premise number two, almost all parts of the Earth's surface are under the jurisdiction of a state.
So other actors like the UN or multinational corporations like BP or Microsoft are irrelevant from this point of view.
You're right, Brunello. I was simply reporting the traditional understanding of IR. Today, however, we tend to have a broader perspective, which include, of course, states, but also international organizations, supranational organizations, and a variety of transnational actors like NGOs, non-governmental organizations, multinational corporations, social and liberation movements, transnational networks, individuals such as experts or leaders, but even something difficult to grasp as international public opinion. Beyond this simple list of actors, however, what really matters is the dynamic among the actors, how they interact with each other, and the consequences that they generate, i.e. the political phenomena. Conventionally, in order to understand the phenomena, you need to examine the different level of analysis. If you take the first level of analysis, the individual, you might, for instance, ask to what extent the individual attitude of the leader can influence a certain outcome. Think about the psychological attitude of Hitler. If you focus on the second level of analysis, the national level, you will examine to what extent national dynamics affect certain phenomena. Think about the inter-ethnic tension in the Rwandan war. If you consider the regional level, you will analyze the regional tensions, and you might think about the relation, for instance, between the EU and Russia on the Ukrainian case. Finally, if you take the global perspective, you will analyze the global dynamics. Think about the Cold War. What is important is not only to be analytic, i.e. to take into account all the different levels of analysis, but also to be synthetic. You need to order and prioritize one level over the other if you want to have a good interpretation. Usually, if your unit of analysis is the state, you will adopt a realist state-centric approach. If you take into consideration many actors beyond the state, you will have a liberal, multi-centric approach. Finally, if your analysis is centered on the whole system, you will have a Marxist, global-centric approach, or perhaps a neo-realist, structural, systemic approach. The history of IR has been marked by three main theories. The traditional sort of center of debate has been the theory of realism. Second major theory, liberalism. Third important theory, Marxist. And more recently, the theory of constructivism. It is on these four theories that we will concentrate the first part of the book.
So with these levels of analysis, are we supposed to be able to explain phenomena?
There's another dimension that we need to take into account in order to explain international phenomena, the so-called agent structure issue.
What do you mean?
Is the structure that influences the behavior of the actor, or is the actor independent from the system within which he or she plays? Brunello, think about your own life. Have you seen Matrix, the movie? Who are you really? Are you the product of your own previous choices? Or are you simply the outcome of external factors on which you didn't have any word, any say? Are you the author of your life?
Let me think about this for a moment.
Okay, in the meantime, let's see what your colleagues think about it. Let's listen to Silvia.
Who is Silvia?
My special envoy, of course.
Do you think it's you are the author of your life, or rather is the system that determines who you are?
I don't know, everybody has its own decisions and the way of living, so I think it's us who decides who our life and our goals in life, you know, yeah.
Actually, I don't know. Actually, let me think. I have a lot of ideas for my future, and so yeah, I want to be the author because I want to choose like everything as better as can.
I think the system can determine who we are, but we have to be the authors of our lives. So to decide for our lives without thinking about the system, and we can change the system if we are the authors of our lives.
I think the system, mostly, yeah.
I believe I'm the author of my life because I decide what to do, and even though circumstances can influence me in a way or another, but I'm still in charge of what I want to do in life, yeah.
Why do you ask this? Is it relevant for IR?
It is indeed relevant. The so-called agent structure issue is crucial for understanding properly international affairs. For some, the states only react to external pressures. For others, instead, international actors can indeed use their leverages to decide on the course of action. If you're free to choose, you are then accountable and responsible. If everything is a kind of predetermined, then your merit or guilt disappear. Understanding whether it is the agent or the structure that determines the course of action is thus central in political interpretation.